In this video, we've got $300,000, $3,700, $1,000 grants for everyone. If you've watched any of my previous videos where I show you the spreadsheet to which I link you to information resources and application portals for grants for everyone, you know that for you to qualify for some of those grants, you have to operate a small business, which is as simple as me taking my Bob Ross bobblehead doll, for which I paid $6.99 in Marshall's, waiting for it to increase in value to $20, $30, $40 or whatever, and listing it and selling it on eBay or another online marketplace. Then I will have generated business revenue. Or you could take it to the next level. You could tell people, listen, I build websites, sell websites for $600, $700, and find someone on Fiverr or Upwork that could build the website for you. For another grant that I'm thinking of that's at the top of my head, actually a couple of these grants, you have to have an idea that you can turn into a small business. But for one of my headlining grants, and I'm about to show you right now, you don't have to have the idea. They supply the idea for you. Let's get right to it. You remember the spreadsheet where I show you the grants or information resources to these grants and application portals so you can go ahead and apply for these grants. So this is the $300,000 Launch Factory Startup Founder on the January tab, okay? On the January tab, on the tab that are labeled as names of months, they basically list all the business grants that for which you don't have to have a legal entity. You simply, for some of these, you have to have an idea for a business or a story. For instance, you starting your small business. I'll get into the qualifications shortly. And these are the grants that I've encountered, for instance, for the month of January. You know, in my 2020 grants, I listed grants or information resources and application portals for grants that I encountered in December, November, and so on. I got small business resources tab where I link you to a number of information resources where you can contact people that can help you start a small business. For instance, the America's Small Business Development Community, or centers that you can find across the country. There's actually a search engine where you can go ahead and find small business development centers across the country. While that loads, we'll go right back to the grant page. You've got the USA.gov page that lists all the steps that you should take in order to start a small business. Remember, as I told you in my previous videos, for me it was as simple as simply paying a little over $100 to file my LLC, in the state of Florida. And to apply for my EIDN, my employee identification number, I just had to apply through the IRS. It was free to do. And once you do that, you're essentially operating a small business. Of course, you have to also sell something. Nothing happens until you sell something. And then we've got another tab for individuals. We've got grants that you can apply as an individual without operating a small business. We've got education sources. We've got free education sources. So this, for instance, this is a workshop that's coming on Hello Alice. You can register for it and they'll show you how to file your taxes and how to organize your revenue as a small business, how to file the entity, etc. And when I say I've got grants for everyone, I have grants for everyone. If you're a good student in school, or if you're a high school student in your household, they get good grades, etc. I've got grants. I'll show you more about it later on in the video. And in order for you to stay on top of all the grants and free resources that I encounter, click the subscribe button, click the bell notification so you can stay on top of everything that I encounter that you can use in order to succeed, in order to start your small business, enhance your education, enhance your skills so you can save and feed your families to ultimately save this country. We interrupt this program with a breaking news alert. As I've told you, as a regularly subscribed and notified viewer of this channel, by clicking the subscribe and bell notification buttons after you watch this video to the end, I will keep you updated with any developments on the federal grant programs that I list on this spreadsheet. The Small Business Administration earlier this morning has just released new guidance for the reopening of the Paycheck Protection Program. I have listed it on row 2, column C of the Grants 2021 spreadsheet. Here it is. You can go ahead and read through it. Among the key updates, here's the release. Among the key updates that you need to know are that the PPP borrowers can set their PPP loans covered period to be any length between 8 and 24 weeks to best meet their business needs. You can read the rest of these key updates in the bullets listed on the release. And one thing that I want you to pay attention to, PPP guidance from SBA Administrator Carranza on accessing capital for minority, underserved, veteran, and women-owned business concerns. So you can go ahead and take a look at it. This is PPP guidance, okay? Take a look, because this can potentially put you at the front of the line when applying for the first or second draw of a Paycheck Protection Program loan. To efficiently and effectively implement the Economic Aid Act, the new stimulus package, the Small Business Administration will be, pay attention, accepting PPP loan applications only from community financial institutions for at least the first few days when the PPP loan portal reopens. So they'll be prioritizing the processing of applications coming from CDFIs. What is a CDFI? If you go back to my grants 2021 spreadsheet and you look up the Small Business Resources tab on the second row, actually, column B, I have CDFIfund.gov. And that page will basically explain to you what is a CDFI. On the third row, I have a list of all certified community development financial institutions with contact information as of December 16th, 2020. As I've told you, click the subscribe button, click the bell notification to stay on top of all these resources that I encounter each month, including but not limited to the PPP and EIDL grant as we resume our regularly scheduled program. So let's get right to it, ladies and gentlemen. This is the first grant that I told you about. Become a founder. Things I already got it open. So this is the Launch Factory. Basically, they give you $300,000 if you qualify to become one of their founders. They give you the idea. You see, ideas. We begin with the idea. We, meaning them. Our team sources and develops promising startup ideas that are ready to fund and launch. Recruitment. Startup idea. You build a strategy and vision for this new startup funding. Each startup receives $300,000. So you don't even need the idea. If you remember, the American Seed Fund, and we'll go ahead and just hit it real quick. The American Seed Fund, that is operated by the National Science Foundation, a United States federal agency, distributes grants of up to $1.75 million so you can fund your technically risky idea. So you can commercialize it. That's according to what they say, okay? I talked about this in a previous video. Now, if you want to learn more about this, actually, one of my viewers has stated that he submitted a pitch for this. You don't even have to have a business for this particular grant in order to file the pitch. Okay, you simply have to have the idea, and once they request a solicitation, then you have to go and get your legal entity. You have to file an LLC, etc. Now, you don't want to start a business just for getting these grants. Sometimes it's easier just to sell something, because that's the way I started my business, simply communicating my expertise to people, telling people, look, listen, I know how to advertise on Google, for instance, and they started to pick up my services. It was simple as that. Of course, I was in a good neighborhood, always putting myself in positions where I'm hanging out with people with whom I'd like to work. So I have also, there's actually another tab called, real quick, let's go back to the grants page so I can just show you real fast, called Case Studies. So for this American Seed Fund, there's actually, first off, I've actually got a case study. I don't think I opened it up in the tab. I'll go ahead and link it real quick. This is an organization that they actually were able to receive the American Seed Fund. And it tells you, basically this article tells you about what they did to get the fund, to secure the funding. That's how most of it, $1.25 million come from the government in form of 2 National Science Foundation cooperative agreements with the Small Business Innovation Research Financing Mechanism. So people were saying these are scams. These are not scams. The federal government wants to fund your technically risky idea because it creates jobs, it creates new businesses. It helps the country overall, right? So if you go back, let's just go back to this one. So for instance, for this one, all you have to do to be eligible to apply is simply have a bachelor's degree. Now, this is not the only opportunity out there if you don't have a bachelor's degree. Even if in doubt, if you have skills or you could learn the skills. Remember, I have I have a tab in the spreadsheet that lists a number of free resources, how to learn artificial intelligence, all kind of technically sophisticated ways for you to provide a service that can help a number of people, that can scale. Remember that the free resources, it's all free resources. So they got this, you can go ahead and apply to this. Even if in doubt, I would still apply, because potentially some of the experience that you already have can replace or can also make you eligible, as opposed to you, instead of having a bachelor's degree. So you can go ahead and go through the application process. Now, if you want to learn how to file taxes and prepare your revenue and your financial statements as a small business, Hello Alice has a workshop this month. Go ahead and register for it right here. This is the skills that I picked up. Google actually has a certification program where you learn how to market on their platform, how to advertise on competitive keywords, so you can go ahead and drive business to anybody's organization, and you can basically take a cut off anything that you sell on behalf of an organization, or you can charge a retainer. It all depends. There's all kinds of ways that you can swing it. We've got the Awesome Foundation. Now, this is something where I don't see any requirement that you had to have a business in operation in November or March, etc. You simply have to have the idea. Take a look. $4.95 million granted. $4.95 million granted. $4,950 because it's $1,000 every month. Take a look. 89 chapters, 13 countries, of course, one of which being the United States. The Awesome Foundation. Have a crazy, brilliant idea that needs funding? We award $1,000 grants every month. It couldn't be simpler. Your idea is yours alone. We don't want to take a stake in it. We just want to help you make it happen. And it keeps going. And it keeps going. Remember this one? I told you about this one before, but there's no deadline on it, so go ahead and move towards it. GoFundMe. If you can raise $500 for your small business, GoFundMe will match those $500 and give you a $500 grant if you indeed were able to raise that money, if you provided a viable service for people in your community, for your family members, etc., and you got people to give you $500, then that grant turns essentially to a $1,000 grant. Let's keep moving through it. This is for innovative teams. You put together a team and you come up with a solution to people that are weathering the pandemic. For instance, anything that has to do with ensuring that people can contact their medical providers as quickly as possible. You come up with some type of idea. You can work together with them and you can qualify for a grant of up to, I believe it's, let's go ahead and look at the tab. If you look at the January tab on my spreadsheet, it's up to a $25,000 grant for anyone who wins that challenge, right? Take a look. Number of people actually laughed why I listed Beyonce. Beyonce has the Bay Good Impact Fund. If you need help facing a potential foreclosure or eviction, then grants of 10, that's the 5,000 Beyonce is giving. $5,000 grants to individuals and families facing foreclosures and evictions. Take a look. That's under the individuals tab. This is a fellowship. If you got the stuff to become a fact checker, and it's not that hard to do. I actually represented the Barack Obama presidential campaign in 2012. And one of my key tactics to driving traffic and attention to that campaign was fact checking the opposing party, in this particular case, Mitt Romney's lies. Whenever he lied about something, I basically fact checked what he did, called him out on his BS, and I drove tens of thousands to millions of unique visitors to the platform that was partnered with the Barack Obama presidential campaign that helped them out considerably. If you notice how instrumental fact-checking and how people wanted to basically get fake news out of the way during the 2016 and beyond, fact-checking. So basically what this is if you apply for this, you can, I believe it's the Facebook Journalism Project and the National Association of Black Journalists will actually fund your salary for you to become a fact checker working with these organizations. PolitiFact, the Associated Press, Reuters, USA Today, Fact Check, and under the free resources tab, there's all kinds of free resources where you can educate yourself on how to become a journalist or a fact checker if you want to take that route. So I got all kinds of resources for you, ladies and gentlemen. how to access. So this is basically a way, this gives you more information on how to apply for the American Seed Fund. Right now, they haven't opened up applications as yet, but they do so every year, every quarter. So stay on top of that. And click the subscribe button, click the bell notification to stay on top of the date when they reopen applications. And again, all these free resources that I encounter every single month. You know about this, the EIDL Advance, it's coming back because as you very well know, the stimulus package was passed back in December. Right now it reads no longer available, but pretty soon the Small Business Administration will be listing guidance on how to apply for this program, which is a grant of up to $10,000 that I've spoken about in depth in this channel, for which we fought. You know that we got mainstream media attention for through S.4227, and for all you people that have been watching me from the jump, you know that we got exposure for the New York Times, on Politico, etc. We did all kinds of things. This is another program that you've probably heard about, that you've seen here. So basically, if you sign up for an account for Webull, if you want to get into stock marketing investing, you want to invest in stocks, you get 4 free stocks valued up to $3,700 if you make a deposit of $100. Now, I'm going to be completely transparent, unlike other people that have probably told you about this program. If you sign up and you do this, I also get 2 stocks. Excuse me. If I refer 2 of you and you do that, I get 10 free stocks. And you can do the same thing. Once you sign up for this account, you can go ahead and invite other people. And if you get 2 people to sign up, you also get 10 free stocks. I'm completely transparent with this stuff, unlike I've heard other people talk about this, all right? And there's another program, which is a form of a grant, because you can get up to $3,700. In my account, my Webull account, I started with $100, and now it's at like $138 because of the free stock that I've been able to get through it. So if you want, or you can just go to Webull yourself if you don't want to help me out, but whatever, it doesn't really matter. But either case, you can go ahead and invite other people, and you could also get free stock. So also Coinbase, you want to buy crypto, you want to buy cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin, you can go ahead and sign up for this. And again, you get $10 worth of free Bitcoin. I also get $10, okay? Completely transparent. I'll brief you on my experience with it. Here's my account, I'll show you. I started with a $467 investment in Bitcoin, and my objective was actually to invest in a platform called Steam, where if I invested, they actually would promote my videos. This is when I was doing more family-oriented videos. You see them right here. This is my account right here, completely transparent. This is my wallet, and the value of this currency devalued by, I believe, over 50% or so, or about 50%. So you see now it's 0. Everything is valued at 0 because I took everything out of there, right? And I put it back into Bitcoin, as you can see right here. So once that currency got devalued, there was no worth in me continuing to promote. I went ahead and put it back in Bitcoin little by little. It went all the way up to $364. I think that's all it was. And I just left my money in there. Now the account is up to what, $1,200? So you could invest, and also you have an opportunity on Coinbase to learn about other cryptocurrencies. And once you do that, they actually give you more cryptocurrencies. They give you more that has fiat monetary value. Okay? This is the Coinbase. I've got, and by the way, I have links to that stuff right here on the individuals tab. So you go to individuals tab at the very top. You go ahead and use my link or use any other link, whatever you want to do. Doesn't matter. And I told you, I disclose everything that happens, okay? And you could do it yourself, and you could generate revenue off of that. And then you heard about these in my previous videos. It's the NAV Business Grant. It's opening up applications again, January 2021. These are grants of $10,000 and $5,000. And you don't have to have a small business that's been in operation since February. Again, you could start your business right now. And once this portal opens, you could apply for it. You qualify. You could tell them about the struggles and challenges that you face and how you overcome them in opening your small business. Got the FedEx Small Business Grant. It's also going to be opened again in early 2021. So stay on top of that. Again, click the subscribe button, click the bell notification to stay on top of my findings. And of course, this program that I told you about in the beginning of, well, actually, this is actually a free information source where you can learn how to do business. So this is a webinar. that you can, for which you can register, and you can learn how to do business with NASA if you have some type of innovative idea where you can operate with NASA. And I say, I got grants for everyone, ladies and gentlemen. Look, if you have a high school student in your household from grades 9 to 12, at least 15 years of age, must be recommended by a high school official guidance counselor, math or science teacher. Go ahead and tell them to apply. Look, $3,300. I told my son about it. He's on a grind right now. Talk soon.